Hey guys, and welcome to another Escape with Watch review. Today we're looking at the Sugess 1963 Mechanical Chronograph. This is a watch that's been around for about a year, I'd say, in this form. It's obviously really heavily based on the Seagull 1963, the very historic Seagull 1963, and they just pretty much slapped a new dial, some new hands, and a different strap on it, and branding it as the Sugess. And you can pick this up on AliExpress. The retail price, I believe, is about $166. You can get it with a swan neck regulator for an extra $15. And you can also pick them up during sales, which is how I got this one. And I paid $142 for it. So that's just a kind of a price range. I haven't seen these things go on any crazy good sales. 140, like 135, I think is the lowest I've ever seen it go. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at prices. And there is a sale on these currently. Not quite sure what the price is going to be. It's not showing up for me online at the moment, but just make sure to check them out because it's definitely worth a look. And I think these things they're excellent value. So for your money, you are getting a 316L stainless steel case, sapphire crystal with AR. You're getting a mechanical chronograph movement, and you're getting it on a pretty decent leather band, and it actually comes in an okay box too. So I think the package is really good. This is one of the cheaper ST19 chronographs you can get, and I think it just looks excellent. And they also sell it in a couple different sizes and colors. So they sell it in this whitish silver color. They sell it in a beige with gold indices and gold hands, and then they sell it in black as well. And then they also sell this in 40 millimeters. So there's just quite a few different configurations. I suggest going to check them out and pick the one you like and go with it because I think they're awesome. But let's hop right into the review. First things first, start out with the dimensions. This is listed as a 38 millimeter case. I'm seeing 37.5 millimeters across. You've got an 18 millimeter lug width, 13.1 millimeters thick to that dome sapphire crystal, and then the overall lug to lug length of 47 millimeters. So, you get the 38 millimeter case with 47 millimeter lugs. It's kind of long on the lug width, and that's what you expect from the Seagull 1963. But because of that long lug length, I think the 37.5 millimeter diameter, it makes it wear pretty good. So I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. As you can see, it fits me pretty darn good. I think the sloping lugs really help the way it hugged the wrist there. It's very light, very comfortable. The pushers are low profile enough where it's not digging into my wrist or anything like that. So looking really, really good. Lots and lots of play off of the polished case there. Get you in some direct sunlight. And there's some direct sunlight right there, and you can still read this thing perfectly fine. So I've got no problems with it as far as legibility goes. I'm going to zoom in here, hopefully get you some close-ups of the dials kind of sparkling in direct sunlight. So yeah, it's got a little bit of sparkle on it. Looking pretty good though. I'm going to go inside and throw it on a couple straps and we'll be right back. And here it is on the Milanese strap that they included in the box. I think it looks pretty good. I'm usually not a fan of these straps, but I think on this watch it looks pretty decent, and it's actually a halfway decent strap too. So, but yeah, I got one other strap I want to throw it on, and then we'll get back to the review. And here we are on a brown leather rally strap. I think it looks absolutely awesome on this strap. I got the same strap in black. And yeah, it's a great strap. I think it looks really good on it. It's got that vintage vibe to it still, and yeah, really comfortable, very nice. But yeah, I just can't get over how well this thing wears. There's a shot down the wrist for you. But yeah, looks really good. Unfortunately, I don't have any other straps, so I'm going to go back inside and we'll get back to the review. All right, so zooming in real close on this The case finishing, it's super simple. It's 100% polished. There's only one surface on this watch that is a brush surface, and I'll show you that in just a second. But it's really nicely done brushing. You can see there's none of that like peaks and valleys that you see on some poor polishing jobs. It's done to a really high level. Very happy with it. It is an absolute fingerprint magnet, though. I'm wearing gloves and I still got fingerprints on this thing, so just be aware of that. But all the 1963s are like that, I believe, except the Merkur. That one does use a brush on the top there, but I do like it. I think it looks really good, and it gives it a more dressy vibe. I guess I could probably wear this to a wedding or something. So yeah, it's nice to see. You do have a signed crown, really nicely signed crown at the 3 o'clock position, unsigned pushers for the chronograph functions, but otherwise I think it looks really good. The underside of the case here, you have a screw down case back. It says 5 atmospheres, 316L stainless steel, SG231, chronograph, mechanical, ST1901. So 5 atmospheres. This is a 50 meter water resistant watch, which is kind of surprising. I wasn't really expecting that, but that's nice to see. Then you do have, it is a fully polished case back, except you can see on the outside of the little hex logo or hexagons there, you can see that it's brushed. That's the only brushing I see on this entire case. Even the underside of the lugs are polished. So really simple case finishing, but I think executed really, really well. So yeah, kudos to Sugess for producing a really nice polishing job on this. And one thing I didn't notice in pictures or anything, you can see the mid case here. It's basically flat. I'm going to zoom in, just concentrate on this corner. It's basically flat all the way across from this little point here, and then they put the bezel on top. So there is a little bit of a flat face that kind of catches the light. So basically this bezel is not quite in line with the outside of the case. It's not a bad thing. It's just something I didn't see in pictures or notice in any other reviews. I just wanted to point that out to you guys. I think it looks really good though. They did an excellent job with this. The crystal on this, it's a double dome sapphire crystal, and I'm going to test it out right now for you, since I have this fancy new tester, Diamond Selector 2. So there you go. It is a sapphire crystal, so that's good to see. There is anti-reflective coating on it, and I think it works pretty good. You can see here, even on my bright studio light here, quote unquote studio light, it's cutting down on reflections really nicely, and yeah, it works good. I've got no problems with it. Very happy with it, and you can see it's just an ever so slight dome. All right, let's get real close, talk about the dial here. So like I mentioned, this does come in this silvery white color. I'm trying to show you guys how it looks. That's a pretty good, it almost has like a shimmering effect to it. It's not a pure white, and it is definitely a very light silver, but it looks really, really good. The subdials as well also look really good. They're matte black. You got a nicely printed minute track around those. The 3 o'clock subdial here is the chronograph minute counter. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, everything is done really good. So you have a 12 numeral and 6 numeral down here, and I think the 12 numeral, that 1 is just a little crooked. That's pretty much the only thing I see wrong with it. The applied indices are done really nicely. They all look aligned. You have these printed indices at 3 and 9. And then everywhere else you got nice applied indices, and they're all loomed. The handset on this thing, probably the only time you will ever hear me say this, but I believe this handset is a little too long. So the second hand I think is perfect. It goes up into that tachymeter ring, and that's exactly what you want to see. But I believe this minute hand should stop at the minute track. It shouldn't go out into the tachymeter ring. It doesn't look bad. It's just something I haven't seen mentioned anywhere else. But yeah, that's my only real complaint about it, and it's a very, very minor complaint. The hour hand I think is excellent, perfectly sized. Really nice handset though. I mean, it catches the light really nicely. You have that awesome star counterbalance on the chronograph second hand. Looks really good, and you can see that chronograph second hand is just spot on. It's perfectly aligned. Yeah, I think it looks really good. You do have that red tip on the second hand there. And then you've got that nice red tachymeter text. So it all flows really nicely, and it's nice and balanced. I love the bi-compax setup of this thing. Looking really good. You have the Sugess chronograph printing at the 12 o'clock and then mechanical hand winding at the 6 o'clock position. Again, I mean, everything on this dial is printed just perfectly. I've got zero complaints with the printing and the execution of the dial. I think they did a really good job, other than that one on the 12 there. That's a little crooked. But other than that, I'm very happy with it. The indices and the hands are lumed. I'm going to pop up a lume shot right now, and you can see the lume on this is not good. You've got the Alpha Daytona to the right, and then you've got the Corju Speedmaster on the left. Don't buy these watches. Don't buy any of these watches for the lume. You can see the hands are vanishing pretty much immediately, and it's impossible to read in the night. So don't rely on the lume on this thing. All right, let's talk about the movement on this thing. So like I mentioned earlier, you have a Seagull ST1901. So the 1901 is the bi-compax, and it works really, really good. So this is not a screw down crown watch. So in this first position, you can wind it, you can hear it. Really nice winding action, nice and clicky. Takes about 40 turns to get a full power reserve, which is roughly 50 hours, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, really happy with the power reserve on this thing. It just keeps going and going. So really nice to see that. You pop this out to the first position, and that'll allow you to set the time. Pop it back in. It's not a hacking movement. You can see that second hand still ticking away over here on the 9 o'clock subdial, but not a big deal. For the chronograph function, you click that top pusher. Nice and clicky action on that. Really, really nice. The bottom pusher here, we'll talk about that in just a moment, it's pretty squishy, which is very common with the Seagull ST19 movements that I've seen. I want to talk about this crown. This crown is nice and big and grippy. It's pretty oversized. I mean, this was a pilot watch back in the day, so understandably they wanted to make this nice and big, but I think it looks really good. It's low profile, and again, it does have that nice star logo etched in there. So very happy with the crown on this thing. The nice thing about the ST1901s is the fact that when the second hand reaches the minute, you can see the minute hand here, the minute counter. It doesn't tick over until that second hand reaches the 12 o'clock position. So that's really nice to see, and you can see nice and clear. Watch it tick over here. And then you can see nice and clear hashes for your minute track there. So really easy to time with this watch, and I'm very happy with that. So stopping the chronograph second hand, you depress that top pusher, and to reset it, you push the bottom pusher, and that just snaps right back to the 12 o'clock position. But like I said, it's very squishy. I wish this had a little bit more feedback to it. Other than that, though, really happy with the movement. It's been accurate for me. Like I mentioned earlier, you can get the swan neck regulator. I opted not to do that because I've had good luck with these in the past, and this one has been very accurate as well, plus 5 seconds for me. So really happy with it. I'm not going to open this up and regulate it or anything. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you want the swan neck, it is only $15, so might be worth it for you. But very happy with it. I mean, just look at that beautiful movement. I can't believe this movement comes in watches that are under $150. Really, really impressed with the movement. This is not my first ST19, and yeah, it's been great. I've got no complaints with them. Really pretty. Let's talk about the strap on this thing. So this is it's a leather strap, 18 millimeters. It does taper down to 16 millimeters. It's a pretty decent strap. It does say genuine leather on the bottom. I don't smell any leather, so I don't know if it really is leather or not. But the nice thing is that it's not a bad strap. I've seen watches that come from AliExpress with just horrible straps. This one is not bad. The buckle on this, it's just a fully polished buckle. It's fine. Nothing bad to say about it. Nothing great to say about it either. You got a floating keeper here. You got a stationary keeper here. I think the length is pretty good. You can see right here for my 7 1/4 to 7 1/2 inch wrist. I'm right in the middle, so this should fit up to a definitely to like an 8 1/4 inch wrist, probably down to 6.5, I'd say. So plenty of range on that strap. And the nice thing is that it does have the quick release bars. So really easy to swap straps on this thing. But that's pretty much it. I didn't really have any quality control issues other than that one on the 12 there. Even in their product listings, I've seen it crooked, but I've also seen it straight. So that's probably something they need to concentrate on a little bit more. It doesn't bother me. It actually took me about, I don't know, 5 days or so to actually notice that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You might get one that's good. You might get one that's bad. But I think that's about it. Like I mentioned earlier, if you are interested in purchasing this, I'm going to leave a link down in the description. That is an affiliate link. I really do appreciate it. I got this watch with those affiliate link earnings. So thank you guys so much. And I really do appreciate when you use the links. It really helps the channel grow. And I've got a few more watches coming in that I normally wouldn't buy. So again, thank you guys. You are using my links, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. If you want to see some more pictures of this, I'm definitely going to be keeping this in the collection for a while. So check out my Instagram. I did post a few pictures of it already there. Really, really enjoy this watch. If you guys have any questions or comments, please drop them down below. I will do my absolute best to get back to everybody. I think that's about it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.